Now, your Storm Track 5 forecast, certified most accurate in Kansas City, with meteorologist Ronelle Williams.
Especially sunny. Now, even though it's Black Friday, we got to remember it's also Red Friday as well. The Chiefs taking on the Bills at Arrowhead Sunday. I'm starting a trend myself because
right?
the air that you can wear. We've all been wearing the air, right? There you go.
Seriously.
And it's going to continue to be that way.
Ronelle.
Chocolate won't be the only thing that we indulge in by tomorrow. Warm Valentine's Day on the way, and so is your Storm Track 5 forecast in about 9 minutes. Well, as the Northeast, things pretty quiet out to the west, mainly due to high pressure. Looking at things way up above our heads in the upper atmosphere, a ridge of high pressure will continue to stay on the west coast just like that for at least the next week and a half, maybe even as long as 2 weeks. And that's going to bring a lot of storm systems along this track that we're seeing right now, where a lot of snow showers
this weekend.
Yeah, of course we have to do that midweek, staying dry today into the weekend. It's still looking like Saturday. That's going to be the day where we could, unfortunately, you do want to have those glasses on during a lot of these phenomena that we're going to see as the moon gets closer to the sun. Of course, the partial eclipse, the diamond ring, and Bailey's beads. The only time where they're safe to be off is during totality, but they're going to have to go right back on as we see those other phenomena as the moon moves away from the sun. Is it the dance to Thriller?
Let's see it. Yeah.
Let's see it. There it is. Oh man.
Good.
There you go.
See, don't get me started. Don't tempt me, because
you get a forecast.
More strong to severe storms possible later on this evening. Coming up in your Storm Track 5 forecast, I'm talking timing and what exactly you can expect in your neighborhood coming up. Down on the cloud cover a little bit, and you can see states that are a little bit further off to our southwest and especially out to the east, seeing this little bubble of serenity, cloud cover all the way out towards west. Not too bad despite that rain being around. I want to get back to the fact that you dip your cookies in water.
Don't knock until you try it.
Ronelle.
Yeah, definitely another reminder this morning that we're in the middle of winter, currently sitting in the 20s, but I think temperatures, we've already seen them at their lowest. Currently sitting at about 24 degrees. There's Abigail James for you right there. Now we're going to swing right back over to me. Mostly cloudy skies, really helping those temperatures. Gina?
I don't know why I had my AC on last night. I should have just opened the window.
Yeah, do that tonight.
Yeah, okay, on it. Thanks, Ronelle.
A pretty quiet evening on the way, but I want you to go ahead, keep this in mind now. I know a lot of you guys have church service in the morning, so be sure to really just plan to give yourself some extra time right now and really plan to drive safely, as we could see a little bit of ice accumulation as much as a ramp up after 5 o'clock. So later this afternoon and evening, if you plan on being outside, you're definitely going to want to have a way to receive weather alerts. You're going to want to have that Storm Track 5 weather app on your phone, and you're also going to want to definitely keep an eye to the skies. We could see some heavy rain, a lot of lightning, possibly some large hail.
From KCTV 5 News, this is a Storm Track 5 winter weather alert.
Hey guys, just want to let you know what's going on with the snow. I've been seeing a lot of pictures, a lot of reports. It's sticking to the ground. So if you have any driving to do, especially where we're seeing this winter weather advisory here in the metro as well, please drive carefully, drive safely. That's going to continue until about 3 o'clock. So looking at live power Doppler radar now, actually some of the heaviest snow still around the Kansas City metro, but you can see things already starting to lighten up to the north. But here in the heart of the metro, this is where we're seeing the heaviest of the accumulation. By the time everything is all said and done later on this afternoon, could see the possibility of about 1 to 2 inches. Kansas City right now sitting right over a heavier band of snow. Blue Springs as well. Areas to the south and east now starting to see a lot of that snow pick up. So if you're in Warrensburg, you're probably seeing a heavier snow shower. And I say it's sticking to the ground because look at the plaza. You can kind of see the tire marks in the roads. You can see it's sticking to the roads as well. And a lot of those flakes still flying. And it's not just the road conditions, but also visibility an issue as well. Only 1 mile visibility here in Kansas City, 1 mile in Lee Summit too. So it's not just the fact that you'll really have to keep both hands on the wheel, but you'll have to keep your eyes open too as we continue to see that snow at least for the next couple of hours. Temperatures staying in the teens to 20s. Still going to be cold out there. Forecast track taking things out a couple of hours from now. Here we are at 1. Still seeing some snow mainly to the south and east of Kansas City. I think that's when things should start to wrap up around the metro. Things should definitely be done by the time we get into the 4 o'clock o'clock hour. So as far as what you need to know, 1 to 2 inches possible. The majority of the area seeing a little bit less than that, though. Definitely slick out there since it's sticking, and I expect the majority of that snow to taper right around 3 o'clock. We'll continue to have updates for you right here on KCTV5. Make sure you keep it tuned right here. I'll also be on Twitter and Facebook providing updates as well. And you can also get updates on KCTV5.com. We'll see you back here in about 15 minutes.
Ronelle, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys. We have been keeping a close eye on things ever since early this morning. Still seeing mostly clear skies for now, but a couple of areas that I've been keeping an eye on. You can see that cloud cover moving in across our northernmost counties from the north. Complex of storms pushing those clouds in our direction. The good news is, the bright side of things, it should stay dry through the morning and into the early afternoon, but I think our northernmost counties will have to deal with that cloud cover for some time as we continue to go through the next few hours. Area number 2, another storm system to our south and west, pushing some patchy clouds into the area. That's going to lead to at least partly cloudy skies across the Kansas City metro, especially across our southernmost counties, which a partly cloudy sky right now would be best case scenario. So you can see across Kansas City currently, if you're just not waking up, 74 degrees, pretty clear sky. Shouldn't stay that way for too much longer as we see that cloud cover push into the area. Preliminary forecast, I'll have a more detailed forecast for you coming up in about 15 minutes. But right now, it looks like for the partial eclipses, things get started. Partly sunny skies, and during totality, a partly cloudy sky while staying dry. Right after this big event today, we are going to have a chance for a few storms, especially later on tonight. I'll break everything down for you coming up in about 15 minutes. Joe, Gina?
Intense heat.
Yeah, dangerous heat on the way after those storms moved out, and we'll really just have to continue to be weather aware. We're going to see that same pattern that we've been seeing over the past few days, that strong daytime heating, that humid weather during the daytime, and then once the sun goes down, or just before it goes down, that's where we'll start to see those storms develop. As far as what's left across the area, you can see plenty of cloud cover. There were a few storms across our western half of the viewing area. Just in Bates County right now, some lightning, maybe some strong hail just leaving Butler currently and trying to make its way out of the viewing area. That's all I've really been keeping a close eye on. And looking back up to the north, you can see the sky starting to clear a little bit, and that's going to continue moving southward. And this is exactly where I expect those storms to start to develop later on this evening, just to the north of Kansas City. And then we'll see them do exactly what they did last night, just kind of move south and especially bringing those strong wind gusts with them. So, but here's what a lot of us are looking like right now. Just cloudy, a gloomy start to your Saturday, very mild as well, 69 degrees here in KC, a south wind at about 7 miles per hour. And just to take you through your Saturday, by 10 o'clock, easily warming up into the 80s, 93 degrees by 3. Dropping down into the upper 80s by 8 o'clock. But notice by that time, that's where we'll start to see those storm chances move in and make a return to the area. There's also a heat advisory, an excessive heat warning in effect for the area. I'll talk some more about that, exactly how it's going to feel out there later today. That's coming up in your Storm Track 5 forecast. Natalie?
Is it going to continue?
It's going to continue at least for the next week or so. That's why we are keeping a close eye on this excessive heat watch. One of the reasons why, because it now includes the entire viewing area. Northern Missouri was actually kept out of it not too long ago. They've just been added. So everybody now will be under that excessive heat watch starting tomorrow at noon, continuing all the way through Saturday. As far as your Monday, still going to be dealing with some July-like heat, but it's still going to be bearable when it comes to temperatures in addition to the humidity today. A little hazy just at the surface, starting off steamy and muggy for your Monday morning. Diagnostic Imaging Center's Tower Cam keeping skies clear, though. That's what's allowed at least some spots to see 60s this morning, like Harrisonville, Clinton, Ottawa, and Lawrence. 72 degrees now in Kansas City. We still have some time to maybe drop down to about 71, but either way, this is going to be the coolest that we're going to see our Monday. And then going through your Monday, really warming up very quickly as soon as the sun rises. Kansas, getting up to 83 degrees by about 10 o'clock, seeing those lower 90s once again today, feeling the hottest between about 2 and 6, feeling more like the upper 90s, closer to 100 during those prime heating hours, and then slowly cooling for a fairly warm evening, sitting at 86 degrees by about 8 o'clock. Taking on the Tigers tonight at Kauffman Stadium, we welcome Detroit into town. Just a steamy start to the game at 88 degrees, 7:15, mild and muggy at 10 o'clock. 78 degrees at Kauffman Stadium later on tonight after the sun goes down. Satellite and radar, of course, very quiet. Rain sitting in western portions of Kansas. That's going to be that continued pattern that we're going to see, where we're going to stay mainly dry, but that heat building back into the area. Going zone by zone now, our north zone anywhere between about 90 and 93 degrees between about Maryville and Holton, Kansas. Lawrence at 94, 92 for a high here in Kansas City. Lee Summit at 92 as well. And then 92 to 93 degrees across our south zone, anywhere between about Sedalia and all the way over into Garnett. That upper level pattern, high pressure set up to the west, but it's actually going to bring the hottest air into the area by about Thursday, Friday, and especially on Saturday. Cool air locked up north along with our thunderstorm chances through most of the week. Here's a look at those temperatures. Getting up to 97 degrees on Thursday, nearing that 100-degree mark on Saturday, feeling like 99 to 105 between about today, tomorrow, possibly into Thursday as well. But either way, those feels like temperatures going up even more, feeling as hot as about 112 by Friday and Saturday. July 90-degree days, normally we see about 11. Last year we saw 14. So far, we've seen 6. So even though this is going to be extreme heat that we're going to be dealing with, this was bound to happen since we're only in the middle of the month. Hottest day, 94 on July 12th. We're bound to break that in the next few days. The last 100-degree day that we saw was September 8th, 2013, so it's been a while since we've hit 100. As far as our rain chances, staying dry today, tomorrow, but then late tomorrow night, that's when we'll have a chance for rain, maybe a few thunderstorms first across northern Missouri and then dropping down into the metro and surrounding areas. Going over the next 7 days now, it's a 30% chance late Tuesday night, early Wednesday, but those showers that we may see not doing anything when it comes to any relief from the heat. Alexis, Joe?
Thing.
Yeah, and as far as that roller coaster ride, things definitely getting a little bit more on the bumpy side today. Not really much thunder around the metro so far. A lot of that staying up to the north, but we've already seen a little bit of rain ourselves. But as far as what's going on across northern Missouri, the majority of the downpours, especially a lot of the lightning, staying up to the north. Some more showers a little bit further out to the west, but those should continue to lift north of the Kansas City metro, similar to what we're seeing right now. A lot of thunderstorms, a lot of stormy activity into Atchison County, Missouri as well. Far northwest Missouri, extreme northeast Kansas, really seeing the bulk of our stormy activity that was expected earlier this morning, and will continue to do so through the morning. So what we're seeing out to the west should continue to lift to the northeast of the Kansas City metro, but we still got to keep a watch out even into portions of south central Kansas, where we could see a couple of showers kind of drift in our direction over the next few hours. So even though things are pretty cloudy right now, you can see, looking at downtown Kansas City through our Diagnostic Imaging Center's tower cam, a little bit of sunlight trying to kind of break through the clouds a little bit. And temperature is actually fairly mild, at least around the metro. Areas to the north where they're seeing that rain-cooled air sitting in the 50s, and then we've got 70s around the metro, 70s in Harrisonville, down to our south in Paola as well. I think we'll hang around the 70s today, a few spots possibly making it up into the 80s. I think it's going to be those areas down to the south that'll have that better chance, since they'll be a little bit further away from all those showers and storms that are going to be well up to the north. So still calling for a 20% chance between about 10 and 2 p.m. I didn't want to take those chances completely out due to the fact that things are still pretty stormy across Kansas, and everything is really just moving from west to east. And then a few storms looking likely around 4 o'clock, and then chances going up later in the afternoon and evening, all the way up to about 80%. Notice those 70s still staying pretty warm, especially by mid-October standards, but it's later in the day and evening where we need to be on the lookout for some possible severe storms. That greatest severe risk for right now, mainly to the east of Kansas City, areas like Marshall, Lee Summit, Richmond, and Chillicothe under that enhanced risk or that greater risk for severe weather. But either way, the majority of the area will still be under the threat of definitely some damaging wind gusts, an isolated tornado, and some large hail possible as well. Not saying all these things are going to happen, but these are things that could happen should we see one of those stronger storms turn severe. So a quick look at forecast track now. Things actually looking fairly dry between about 10 2, even as late as about 3 o'clock. Then around 4, I think we'll see maybe a couple of showers try to develop. And then I think northwest Missouri and northeast Kansas, they'll get the first batch of some possible stronger storms around 5 p.m. And then a lot of that activity starting to move into the direction of the Kansas City metro, our southernmost counties, between about 5 and 10 o'clock. And then after 10, that's when things should really start to wind down. Cooler air from the north will really start to move in, kind of choke off that severe threat, and then we'll just dry out through the night, leading into plenty of sunshine for our Sunday. May start off with a partly cloudy sky, but either way, sunshine throughout the majority of your Sunday. Good news for Chiefs Kingdom. Chiefs-Steelers kick off at 3:25. You can watch that game right here on KCTV5. It is going to be a cooler day once that front moves through, only getting up to the lower 60s, so have that jacket handy really throughout much of the game, as we could see a little bit of a breeze, especially during the tailgate. So your Storm Track 5 7-day forecast, this is going to be the bumpiest day out of the next 7. You can kind of see why, pretty easy to tell. The next upcoming 6 days after today will just be sunny and then turning pretty mild, eventually seeing middle 70s towards late next week. Natalie?
Looking